क्या बोल रही है मेरी आईसीएसई ग्रेड 9 की पब्लिक? I know you guys have been waiting eagerly for Julius Caesar Act 1 Scene 1, not because it interests you, but because you guys find this very confusing. भाई सर आप रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर कब भेजोगे ताकि हम लोग अपना रिवीजन फटाफट से कर ले? भाई आई एम सॉरी बट तुम्हारा वेकेशन चल रहा है, मेरा नहीं शुरू हुआ है अभी तक. I have been working on your notes. I've been making question papers. I've been making multiple choice questions for you guys for the whole year. I'm trying to make language notes for you guys. Everything has changed, man. तुम लोग का अक्का सिलेबस चेंज हो गया तो थोड़ा तो टाइम जाएगा ना वो सब में. उसके बाद जब मैं सोचा कि चल इन लोग के लिए रिकॉर्डिंग करता है ऐसा चद्दर बद्दर पहन के दो मेथी का ऐसा चीज कान में डाल के, आई वॉज रिकॉर्डिंग ऐसा वीडियो लेक्चर एकदम तुम लोग के लिए ढासू सा. दैट्स व्हेन सम पेरेंट वॉक्ड इन. एकदम ऐसा स्कैंडलाइज हो गया पेरेंट. उनको लगा यार ये तो सन की प्रोफेसर है, ऐसा दिखता है, आई लुक लाइक राजपाल यादव फ्रॉम भूल भुलैया. ऐसा सिर्फ अगरबत्ती जलाने का कमी था मेरे को. उसके बाद मैं सोचा भाई पेरेंट्स को ऐसा मेरे बारे में गलत इंप्रेशन आएगा अगर मैं ऐसा बेडशीट पहन के घूमेगा क्लासेस में. तो फिर मैं सोचा चल जल्दी से अभी एक पॉडकास्ट ही में रिकॉर्ड करता है. ईजी है तुम लोग को टेक्स्ट बुक सामने रखने का, मेरा आवाज बेयर करने का एंड एक पेन हाथ में पकड़ने का एंड धीरे धीरे जल्दी जल्दी एक एक वर्ड जूलियस सीजर एक्ट 1 सीन 1 समझ लेने का, ताकि अपन भी फुल मार्क्स लेकर आएगा. मैं भी काय को बोला शो ऑफ मैन. तुम लोग मेरा रिजल्ट देखेगा ना अभी मैं पोस्ट करेगा. अगर बाय द टाइम ये रिकॉर्डिंग आ गया रहेगा तब तक पोस्ट ऑलरेडी हो गया रहेगा. बट यू विल सी दैट आई हैव ऑलमोस्ट 29 to 30 people scoring 100 on 100 in English literature, man. It's not easy. 190 से ज्यादा लोग have got above 90 मेरा लोग. And aggregate scores में भी भाई there are around 84 people scoring above 90. By aggregate I mean English language literature मिला के. लैंग्वेज की बात कर ले क्या थोड़ा शो ऑफ. तो लैंग्वेज में there are around 50-60 people who have scored above 90 from my side. प्राउड होता है तुम लोगों को, मेरे ऊपर नहीं होता है. सच्ची बता, सच्ची बता. ऐसे लगता है कि नहीं लगता है? भाई अपने सर है ढासू यार, इनके साथ रहेंगे तो अपन भी सुपरस्टार बनेंगे. गलत. क्योंकि तुम लोग सुपरस्टार हो भाई. अभी अपने को सिर्फ वो पोटेंशियल को टैप करने का. तो अभी जितनी देर मैं रिकॉर्डिंग कर रहा हूं उतनी देर के लिए ना फुल फोकस के साथ मेरे को पढ़ाई चाहिए. ठीक है, जल्दी जल्दी करने का. तुम लोग बोर हो गया ना बीच में, पॉज दबा देगा, जाके ब्रेक लेके आने का, वापस से बैठने का, वापस करने का. जब मन रहेगा तब पढ़. बट फिर जब जितना पढ़ रहा है तू, चाहे वो एक साइड है, दो साइड है या तीन साइड है, एकदम शिद्दत से पढ़. मैं प्रॉमिस कर रहा है 100 से कम स्कोर मैं तेरे को लाके नहीं देगा. 100 ही आएगा अपने को. ठीक है. I'm hoping everybody has the textbooks ready. Act 1 Scene 1, I need the pen ready. Quick context while you guys are doing the speaker पे मेरे को डाल दो while you're getting your textbooks and everything, and just let's get into the whole background of Julius Caesar. ये कर क्यों रहे हम लोग? Shakespeare ना has not made a historic play. I mean it is borrowed from history, but it is not a history chapter. तो इसमें अगर यहाँ पे कोई ऐसा डेट शाना बच्चा है जो बोलता है सर बट ये फैक्ट नहीं है, उस टाइम पे ये डेट्स गलत है, हो सकता है भाई. शेक्सपियर इज नॉट हिस्टोरिकली करेक्ट. He just borrowed a story from history because it is a Dhasu story and he converted it into a play for his Elizabethan audience. Now जब मैं बोलता हूं Elizabethan, that means the audience during Shakespeare's times. तो उन लोगों को प्ले पसंद आया ना, इसलिए उसने काफी चीजें प्ले में he's made it relatable to his own audience, which means historic facts have been distorted at some points. बट ये सब शुरुआत करने से पहले यू नीड टू नो द बैकग्राउंड ऑफ एक्ट 1 सीन 1 कि स्टोरी स्टार्ट का हो रही है. स्टोरी स्टार्टिंग व्हेन सीजर इज अबाउट टू रिटर्न टू रोम फ्रॉम अ विक्ट्री अगेंस्ट पॉम्पे. पॉम्पे कौन? पॉम्पे सीजर had this rivalry going on, you know, because we are talking about something called a triumvirate. Triumvirate, ये कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो अभी तक आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग यू गाइस टू हैव योर टेक्स्ट बुक्स इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. इफ यू हैव योर टेक्स्ट बुक्स फटाफट से एक्ट 1 सीन 1 के ऊपर एक ट्राइंगल ड्रॉ कर. अभी वो ट्राइंगल के ऊपर ना अभी ऊपर लिख सीजर एज इन जेसी लिखते हैं, पॉम्पे POMPEY एंड क्रैसस CRASSUS. 3 नाम है. ये 3 पॉलिटिशियंस ना, इन लोगों ने क्या डिसाइड किया कि लेट्स ऑल रूल द एंटायर रोमन एम्पायर टुगेदर. इतना बड़ा रोमन एम्पायर है, अपना सेनेट है, इसको साथ में रूल करेंगे अगर अपन तीनों पावरफुल लोग साथ में मिलजुल के रहेंगे. विच इज द कॉन्सेप्ट अंटिल क्रैसस डाइड इन 53 BC. जब ये हुआ ना तब सडनली अभी पावर इंबैलेंस हो गया. नाउ पॉम्पे वांटेड द एंटायर पावर, यू नो, ही इज लाइक यार जूलियस सीजर ये रोम मेरा है और मैं इधर का जय कान चिक रहे जो फालतू सा जोक मारने का ना मैं ऐसा वर्क नहीं हुआ छोड़ वापस से पॉइंट कर रहे हैं लास्ट 10 सेकंड्स इरेज कर दे अपने हेड में मैं ऐसा वो सिंघम का डायलॉग मारने गया बट वही हुआ यू नो बिकॉज पॉम्पे वाज ग्रेटर एंड ओल्डर देन सीजर एंड ही इज लाइक लिसन तू अपना टेरिटरी संभालो मेरे को संभालने दे अक्का रोमन एम्पायर तो एक अक्का पावर इंबैलेंस हो गया उसके बाद दे वर कॉन्स्टेंटली इन समथिंग कॉल्ड अ सिविल वॉर क्यों होता है बिकॉज दे आर नॉट फॉरेनर्स ना दे आर फाइटिंग between themselves and both of them belong to the Roman Empire. Both of them have a fan following. The Roman public, they love both these people. But फिर ना Caesar defeated not only Pompey, but he also killed Pompey's sons. उधर से अपनी आखिरी कहानी स्टार्ट होती है. So this scene 1 is after Caesar has defeated Pompey's kids and he's returning to Rome and people are celebrating and they've created an entire public holiday just in honor of Caesar. And obviously, like I said, it's a civil war. So there are two kinds of audiences within that atmosphere. People who love Caesar and people who are against Caesar because they were Pompey's followers. डर क्या है यहाँ पे? They don't want Caesar to have the sole power. Because if that happens, then it leads to the whole legacy of Tarquin happening again. Tarquin कौन? Tarquin was this one emperor who was this tyrant, you know, he used to rule Rome and he was hated by everyone. And you know, after his downfall, people realized that, listen, we should never have another Tarquin again. Let one person never have the entire power, otherwise Rome's had it. So they were against dictatorship, they wanted a senate, they wanted a proper government formed. But when Pompey was defeated by Caesar, that concept was at threat because Caesar could end up having all of the power. So ये है conflict का atmosphere where most people are celebrating and by most people I mean the public, the common people, also called plebeians, also called groundlings. So depending on what term your school teacher is using, all of these terms mean common people, citizens of Rome. They are celebrating whereas the Senate members, and here we meet two of them, Flavius and Marullus, they are called tribunes. Tribunes. These tribunes are the ones who are against Caesar because they don't want him to have sole power. That is my background. अभी मैं start करने वाला है. अब तेरा Act 1 Scene 1 तेरे को दिखेगा. Pencils ready, focus ready, start. Act 1 Scene 1 takes place where Rome a street. That's one mark in your pocket. वहां पे लिख one mark. Where's the scene taking place? अब question लिखने मत बैठना. Question mark डाल दे तो तू समझ जाएगा ना वहां क्या ही पूछेंगे. Where's the scene taking place? Rome a street. Enter Flavius Marullus and some citizens. और ये citizens बेवड़े लोग हैं, ये लोग चल रहे हैं रास्ते पे और Flavius उन लोगों को रोकता है, बोलते हैं ए पागल लोग क्या कर रहे हो तुम लोग? Hence, home you idle creatures, get you home. Hence is just that unpleasant sound from your mouth, like abe, that is hence home. Like get out, go home, you idle creatures. Idle creatures को online कर, that's an answer. Question in the exam will be, what does Flavius call the common citizens when he meets them? Or how does he address? By address matlab how does he call them? What does he call them when he meets them? So he calls them idle creatures. Idle creatures bole to lukhe log. Ke ye lukhe log ghar jao, get you home. Is this a holiday? He's asking them a question like, isn't it a working day? Why are you here out on the streets? What? So obviously unme se kisi ne घूरा रहेगा उसको. तो वो सामने बोले, ए क्या देख रहा है बे? What? No you not. Being mechanical को online कर. Mechanical बोले तो a manual laborer. Being a laborer, being a common working class person. No, you're not. Being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a laboring day without the sign of your profession. Julius Caesar na beta, if you read it correctly, आधी चीजें easy हो जाएगी. Now this was one sentence. Like, don't you know, being a manual laborer, you should not be walking. Ought not walk matlab, you should not be walking. But walking where? Walking on a laboring day. Laboring day को online कर. On a working day, not a holiday. On a working day, without the sign of your profession. Unlike sign of your profession. अब ये रोमन लॉ नहीं था, ये शेक्सपियर के टाइम का लॉ था, सो पब्लिक समझ सकती है वो क्या बोल रहा है. बिकॉज इन शेक्सपियरियन डेज people who are representing whatever labor they are doing have to wear that same uniform. Simple example, a cobbler mochi will be dressed like a mochi, a carpenter will be dressed like a carpenter. मतलब उनके हाथ में जो सामान होगा उसको देख के ही मालूम पड़ जाता है इनका जॉब क्या है. So they are right now, these people are in fancy clothes, they are in common clothes, they are not in their work clothes. So बोल रहा है, dude, being mechanical, you ought not upon a laboring day, मतलब you should not be walking on a working day without the sign of your profession, मतलब without your uniform, without wearing your work clothes. Speak, what trait art thou? Now this is an answer for me, although it looks like a question, but paper mein that's an answer. Question kya पूछेंगे? What does Flavius call the citizens and what does he ask them? So he says, what trade art thou? He asks them, what trade do you follow? What is your trade? What trade art thou? मतलब what is your trade? So first citizen थोड़ा decent इंसान है, बोलता अरे sir, अरे is y is just a sound. अरे sir, I am a carpenter. अच्छा, Marulus बीच में इंटरप्ट करता है. Marulus बोलता अच्छा, तू कारपेंटर है, then where's the leather apron? That's a uniform. So where's your leather apron? Thy मतलब your. Where is your leather apron? Where is thy rule? Rule बोले तो measuring tape, ruler. And what dost thou with thy best apparel on? What dost thou? What are you doing? What are you doing with your best clothes on? Best clothes is not best dressed. Best clothes is fancy clothes, like Sunday best, like casual clothes. What are you doing with your casual clothes on? And you, sir, second वाले को पूछता है, अबे तू, what trade is yours? What trade are you? मतलब what is your trade? अब ये second इंसान ना डेढ़ शाना है, वो देखता है कि Marulus and Flavius rudely बात कर रहा है, so he also gives it back to them, सीधा जवाब नहीं देता है, बोलता है truly sir, मतलब I शपथ sir, in respect of a fine worksman, in respect of a fine worksman, ये पूरे लाइन को नहीं कर, लिख compared to a skilled laborer, मतलब sir, when you compare me with a skilled laborer ना, I am, as you would say, a cobbler. Cobbler को ऑनलाइन का 2 arrows बना. अब जब भी मैं बोलता ना 2 arrows बनाने, that's a pun. Shakespeare is famous for puns. It's word play. He's playing with words. He's trying to confuse people with word play. For example, over here, cobbler not only means a mochi, but it also means a bungler. A bungler is a fancier word for someone who bungles up their work. Bungles मतलब spoils their work. मतलब someone who can't do any job correctly. मतलब सर मैं जो भी काम लेता हूं बिगाड़ देता हूं, कॉबलर सर. तो सीधा जवाब दिया उसने, बट वो पन भी कर रहा है. सो ये बोलता है सर व्हेन यू कंपेयर मी विद अ स्किल्ड लेबरर ना, आई एम समवन हु कांट बी स्किल्ड, आई एम अनस्किल्ड, आई कीप स्पॉइलिंग एवरीथिंग आई डू, आई कीप स्पॉइलिंग एवरी जॉब आई टेक अप. बोलता है हाँ वो ठीक है, तू स्पॉइल करे या ना करे, मेरे को क्या कर उससे, मेरे को क्या करने का उससे, तू मेरे को ये बता व्हाट ट्रेड आर्ट दाउ. Marulus is asking, but what trade art thou? Answer me directly. Dude, सीधे से आंसर कर, what is your trade? बता अरे सर, a trade sir, मेरा जो जॉब है ना सर, a trade, I hope I use with a safe conscience. Safe conscience को ऑनलाइन कर, with a clear heart. So मैं जो जॉब करता हूं ना, मेरे को लगता है मैं सच्चे दिल से करता हूं. Which indeed sir is a mender of bad souls. Mender मतलब someone who fixes. Bad souls को ऑनलाइन का पन है, 2 arrows बना. Soles over here also means shoes का soles, मतलब जूते का soles, and soles also means your own soul. So again it's a pun. He's saying sir बुरी आत्मा के जो बुरे intention वाले लोग होते हैं, people whose souls are bad, I can fix them. In a way he's taunting Marulus and Flavius, saying sir if you guys don't have a good soul, if you guys are people with bad intentions, I can fix you. आप लोग को ठीक कर सकता हूं. Marulus बोलता है what trade thou knave? Thou knave is you rascal, you idiot. What is your trade? Thou naughty knave. Naughty knave is you stupid idiot. You idiot, you stupid idiot. What is your trade? सीधे से जवाब दे. अरे बोलता है नहीं sir, please I beseech you sir. नहीं I beseech you मतलब अरे sir I request you. Beseech को ऑनलाइन कर. Request. Be not out with me. Be not out को ऑनलाइन कर. पन है. Because be not out का 2 meanings है. मतलब आगे वाला आएगा, not this वाला. Be not out मतलब don't be angry with me. पर देख वापस से आ रहा है नेक्स्ट लाइन में. Yet if you be out, ये जो be out है ना, उसका मतलब है if you are angry, एक मीनिंग जो हमने ऑलरेडी एस्टैब्लिश कर लिया. दूसरा मीनिंग ऑफ be out is when your shoe is broken. Yet if your shoe is broken, if your soul is broken, I can mend you. So he's again playing with words over here. बोलता है sir, don't be angry with me sir. But if you are angry with me, I can mend you, I can fix you. अगर आप गुस्सा करोगे ना तो आपको ठीक कर सकता हूं मैं, तो ज्यादा अकड़ मत. That's one meaning, गुस्सा. And the second meaning of be out is if your shoe is broken, then I can mend you. तो बोलता what meanest thou by that? मैं बोलता क्या बोला तू मेरे को फिक्स करेगा? What meanest thou by that? मतलब what do you mean by that? Mend me, thou saucy fellow. तेरी इतनी हिम्मत, तू मेरे को मेंड करेगा? You'll fix me, you saucy fellow. Saucy fellow को ऑनलाइन कर. Saucy is over smart. Cheeky, you cheeky fellow, तू मेरे को मेंड करेगा? अरे सर आपको कॉबल करूंगा सर. वो वापस से बोलता है अरे सर आपके जूते मेंड करूंगा. दैट्स अ पन. कॉबल यू को ऑनलाइन कर. बिकॉज सेफ मीनिंग जो वो बोलने की ट्राई कर रहा है अकॉर्डिंग टू Marulus is कि सर आई विल मेंड योर शूज. एंड कॉबल यू ऑल्सो मीन्स आई विल बीट यू अप. दैट्स द मीनिंग दैट Marulus इज इन्फरिंग. Marulus कंक्लूड कर रहा है कि ये मेरे को थ्रेटन कर रहा है, मेरे को मारने की बातें कर रहा है. तो फ्लैवियस बीच में इंटरफेयर करता है, बोलता है अरे शांत हो जाओ तुम दोनों. are you a cobbler? Thou art a cobbler, art thou? Yes, sir. All that I live by is with the all. अरे sir, कब से वही बोल रहा हूँ? I'm a cobbler. All that I live by, मतलब all that I do, all that I live by, मतलब whole day long, entire day, all my life, all I do is I live with the all. ये all को underline कर. AWL is a pun, दो arrows बनाओ. पहला meaning is all, as in ALL. मतलब all that I do is I live with all. With all मतलब I live with everyone peacefully. And second meaning of all is a tool which is used by cobblers to pierce holes in leather. Leather ना बहुत tough होता है holes बनाना, तो वो जो tool जो use करते हैं cobblers, that's called an awl. बोलता है sir, all that I live by is with the all, as in I live peacefully with everybody, pun, and it also means I live with all. मतलब मैं सर इनके साथ पंगे नहीं ले रहा हूँ, मैं तो सबके साथ सही से रहता हूँ. I meddle with no tradesman's matter. Meddle with मतलब I interfere with. I interfere with no tradesman's matters. Tradesman's matters कौन लाएगा? मतलब with any man. Tradesman's matters मतलब I don't interfere in any man's business, nor in any woman's matters, but with all I am मतलब I live peacefully with everyone. With all I am, I live peacefully with everyone. Indeed, sir, I am a surgeon to old shoes. Indeed, sir, I am a surgeon. Surgeon कौन लाएगा? Surgeon is someone who fixes, someone who mends, someone who repairs. To old shoes. Old shoes is shoes. Like, and when they are in great danger, I recover them. अब recover pun है. Recover कौन लाएगा? दो arrows बनाओ. Recover means I save them. You know, you recover something, you saved it. But recover, as in you cover something again, literally means कि अगर आपके shoes फट जाते हैं, तो I can cover them again. So that's recover. As proper men as ever trod upon neat's leather have gone upon my handiwork. As proper men as ever. ये सिर्फ इतने से phrase का मतलब है the most noble, the most rich, as in richest, the richest men in Rome, the most noble men of Rome that have ever trod मतलब have ever walked, or who can walk, have definitely walked in neat's leather. Neat's leather कौन लाइन कर? Cow's leather. मतलब the richest men of Rome who wear cow's leather on their feet, which means almost everybody in those days, are all wearing my handiwork. Handiwork मतलब things that I have repaired or things that I have created. मतलब सर मैं बहुत शिद्दत से काम करता हूँ, मेरा वर्क इतना फेमस है कि almost every man in Rome wears shoes which are meant by me. Okay, fine. Flavius बोलता है ठीक है भाई समझ गया मैं. But wherefore art not in thy shop today? But why are you not in your shop today? Why are you out here? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets? Lead these men, by these men he means other citizens. He says, why are you not in your shop today? And why are you leading your friends? Why are you and your friends out on the streets? About the streets, out on the streets. The second citizen जो cobbler है बोलता है, अरे sir, truly sir, I शपथ sir, we are here to mend, I am here to wear out their shoes. Sir, मैं तो चाहता हूँ कि लोग रास्ते पे चले ताकि I can use up their shoes. Wear out मतलब so that the shoes become spoiled. So that I can get myself into more work ताकि मेरे को और business मिले. But sir, ये तो मजाक चल रहा था. Indeed sir, truly sir, सच्चा reason ये है. We make holiday to see Caesar. We are rejoicing sir because I want to see the great Caesar and we want to rejoice in his triumph. Rejoice in his triumph मतलब we want to celebrate his victory. Caesar the great वापस return हो रहा है, हम लोग को उसको celebrate करना है. Marulus भड़क जाता बोलता है rejoice. अबे काय का rejoice? Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings he home? Now in those days, now it was a tradition when the Roman emperors would, conquer lands, or when they would defeat enemies, when they would conquer different, when they would have victory over different enemies, they would make sure that they drag these other emperors through the streets of Rome, tied to their chariots. You know what a chariot is? It's a carriage, right? The horse carriage. Usko chariot bolta hai. So, and these people, I mean, the lands that they have conquered over, or the people they have defeated in a war, the foreigners that they have defeated, उन लोग का सारा treasure, उन लोग का सारा पैसा लेके ये लोग वापस आता है. So that is conquests. Like what conquests follow him, brings he home? मतलब what money, what riches, what treasure does he bring home? What tributaries follow him home? Tributaries are people who pay tribute. Tribute is taxes, मतलब prisoners. What tributaries follow him home? मतलब what prisoners is he bringing to Rome? Why is he saying this? Because Caesar hasn't defeated a foreigner in a war. He has defeated his own person. He has defeated Pompey's kids, and Pompey was a true Roman. So अपने ही किसी को मार के आ रहा है वो. So what has he achieved? What conquest? What money does he bring home? What tributaries? What taxpayers does he follow him to Rome? To grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels. To grace in captive bonds. ये words को underline कर. Like tied to his chariot wheels. मतलब who are the prisoners that are dragged along his chariot wheels? You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. किसको बुला रहा है वो? Citizens को. क्या बन सकता है? Question. What does Marullus now call the people? Also MCQs में पूछ सकता हूँ. Marullus calls the people one of these words. फिर मैं 4 दूसरे words दूंगा, उसमें से एक ये word दूंगा. So blocks को underline का point number 1, stones point number 2, worse than senseless things point number 3, hard arts point number 4, cruel men of Rome point number 5. Knew you not Pompey? भूल गए अपने मसीहा को, अपने करमदाता को, अपने राजा को. Have you forgotten Pompey? Many a times and oft, oft is often. Many times and oft have you climbed up to the walls and battlements, to towers and windows, and to the chimney tops also, your infants in your arms, and there have you sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see the great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariot butt up here, have you not made a universal shout that Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replications of your sounds made in her concave shows? And do you now put on your best attire? Do you now call out a holiday? Do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? ये पूरा एक डायलॉग है, ठीक है, बट अपन इसको ब्रेक करके देखते हैं वापस से. न्यू यू नॉट पॉम्पे? पॉम्पे को भूल गए इतनी जल्दी? Many times and often ना, पहले ये सीजर जितना बड़ा अभी उछल रहा ना, उससे पहले you guys, all of you citizens, you used to climb up पे question mark डाल, climb up where? To the walls, to the battlements. Battlements ना are the walls built along a city to protect the city from wars. You know, वो fortresses में जैसे walls होते हैं ना, gaps के साथ बीच में. That's called battlements. And to towers and to chimneys, chimney tops and windows. And sometimes you carried your babies also in your arms. And there you used to sit. There पे question mark डाल. ऊपर वाले जो points है वही तेरा answer है. There you have sat the live long day, the whole day. You guys would wait patiently with patient expectation. मतलब patiently. Q question mark डाल expectation पे. Expectation. What is the expectation referred to here? Or what expectation did people have? To see, answers the next line. To see the great Pompey. तुम लोग को सिर्फ चाहते थे कि you could see the great Pompey passing the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariot butt appear, his कौन line कर? His is Pompey. When you would see his carriage, his chariot appear, butt appear, मतलब just appear, you would shout, universal shout, मतलब all of you would cheer together. And so loud was that cheer that Tiber is the river. कुछ लोग इसको Tiber बुलाते हैं. तेरे को जो बुलाने का बुला, Tiber, Tibria, जो बुलाने का बुला, but spelling correct लिख के आना. That Tiber trembled underneath her banks. Her कौन लाइन का personified है. River का नाम है Tiber. Rome का बहुत famous river है. Exaggeration है obviously. Figure of speech बोले तो hyperbole. Hyperbole. O silent है. Tiber trembled मतलब shook underneath her banks. मतलब इतना जोर से आवाज करता है कि entire river used to tremble. To hear the replication of your sounds, to hear the echoes of your sounds made in a concave shows. Concave shows मतलब in her banks. So the banks of Tiber would tremble when they would hear the echoes, replication of your sounds. And do you now पे question mark डाल. What do they do now? Point number 1, put on your best clothes. Point number 2, create a holiday. Call out is create a holiday. And you now strew flowers in his way. His कौन line कर? JC लिख. Because देखो समझेगा क्यों. Next line. In his way that comes in triumph. मतलब the person, you're strewing flowers in the way of the person who's coming in victory, in triumph. Triumph is victory. Over Pompey's blood. Blood कौन line कर? Blood is not खून. Blood is खून के सौतन नहीं. Sons रे. Pompey's blood is Pompey's kids. The person who's just defeated Pompey's kids. So that is what he's saying. He says, be gone. घर जाओ बे. Run to your houses. Go back to your houses. Fall upon your knees. जाके घर जाके माफी मांगो भगवान के सामने. Pray to gods to intermit the plague, to stop the plague that needs must, that should fall. Light कौन लाइन कर? Light मतलब fall. Fall upon you guys for this ingratitude. Ingratitude को लाइन कर. Ingratitude मतलब ungratefulness. तुम्हारा ये जो ungratefulness है ना, उसके लिए you guys deserve to be attacked by a plague. God should plague you guys. God should torture you guys. God should destroy you guys. जाके भगवान से माफी मांगो कि you are showing this ingratitude. किसके तरफ ingratitude? पॉम्पे के तरफ. चल एक डीप ब्रेथ ले शांति से. जल्दी से यहां तक देख, खत्म होने का है सीन. फटाफट से यहां तक देख ले, स्कैन कर ऊपर से नीचे तक. एक एक चीज देख शांति से. फ्लैवियस बोलता है साथ में, गो गो गुड कंट्रीमैन. गुड कंट्रीमैन बोले तो प्लीबियंस, द सिटीजन्स. एंड फॉर दिस फॉल्ट, फॉल्ट को सर्कल कर क्वेश्चन मार्क डाल. क्या फॉल्ट लिखेगा वहां पे? ऊपर वाला. हैव यू नाउ नॉट worn your बेस्ट अटायर, कल्ड हॉलिडे एंड ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला, जो भी है वो तीन चीज. दैट्स अ फॉल्ट. फॉर दिस फॉल्ट assemble all the poor men of your sort. Sort को ऑनलाइन कर. Sort is kind. What kind of people? The kind who are celebrating for Caesar right now. So go assemble all the people who are thinking like you, of your same mindset, and draw them. Draw them, matlab guide them, take them to Tiber banks and weep your tears. Start crying over there into the channel. Channel bole to into the river, till the lowest stream kisses the most exalted shores of all. Exalted ko online kar. Highest. When I say the lowest shore kisses the highest shore, मतलब cries so much that the lowest shore touches, kisses मतलब touches the highest shore. Highest shore को अगर lowest shore touch करता मतलब the water should flood with your tears. Again, a hyperbole. But cries so much so that the water should flood. ये लोग चले जाते हैं. Exeunt. जहाँ भी है ना multiple people will exit, it's exeunt. एक person exit करेगा तो exit आएगा. अभी स्टेज पे सिर्फ फ्लैवियस एंड मेरूलस है. फ्लैवियस बोलता है मेरूलस को, see अपने स्पीच के साथ their basest metal has moved. So it's a rhetoric जब तू ओरिजिनल डायलॉग पढ़ता है. See whether their basest metal be not moved. वह मेटल की स्पेलिंग ना कुछ टेक्स्ट बुक्स में गलत है. METAL दिया शायद से. चेंज इट टू METTLE. बेसिस्ट मतलब लोएस्ट माइंडेड. मेटल मतलब कैरेक्टर्स. मतलब इवन द पीपल विद द लोएस्ट थॉट्स, विद द मोस्ट, इवन द मोस्ट अनरीजनेबल पीपल, वैसे समझ ले, इवन द मोस्ट लाइक घटिया सोच वाले पीपल हैव बीन मूव्ड बाय आवर स्पीच. दिस ना, ये लाइन बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट है. मैं थोड़ा डाइवर्ट कर रहा हूं तुम लोगों को प्ले में से. प्ले में से मतलब सीन में से. But what I'm trying to say over here is the theme of the scene. And in fact, it's one of the most recurring themes in Julius Caesar, the play. It is the fickle-minded nature of people, public. You know, ये people वही है जो पॉम्पे के फैंस थे. जब पॉम्पे टपका तो अब ये लोग सीजर के फैंस बन गए. अब जब इन लोग को डांटी पड़ी, when someone is coming and scolding them, अब सडनली ये लोग वापस से वही बंदे का सुन रहे हैं जिन्होंने उनको डांट के थोड़ा इन्फ्लुएंस कर लिया. Shakespeare was very well known for understanding human emotions and human psychology. We are all somewhere like that, and we shouldn't be. Consciously, we should try not to be influenced by people. It's good to be inspired, but it's not good to be influenced without using your own mind. And over here, people are easily influenced. अब ये लोग का माइंड वापस चेंज होता है. फिर जब ये लोग सब लोग सीजर को मार डालते हैं, द सेनेट पीपल गैदर टुगेदर. दैट्स द होल थीम ऑफ द स्टोरी, राइट? दैट हिज ओन पीपल स्टैब हिम टू डेथ. That time they convinced the people that what they did was right and that it was deserved. Caesar deserved it. But then when Mark Antony, Caesar's friend, makes a speech, he again changes the people's opinion and he makes them pro-Caesar instead of anti-Caesar. So people can easily be influenced. वो ये line से पता चलता है where the two tribunes are feeling proud of the way they have managed to change the public opinion. Be not moved. Moved मतलब we have influenced them. They all vanish tongue-tied. They all vanish मतलब exit. Tongue-tied मतलब quietly in their guiltiness. They all feeling guilty. चलो, now you go down. You को online कर. M लिख वहाँ पे. Marullus को instructions दे रहा है, which becomes an answer for me. What does Flavius instruct Marullus to do? So go you down that way towards the capital. He instructs him to go towards capital. Capital is the temple of Jupiter. It's also the place where all the Senate members used to gather. It's one of the prime locations. So go that way towards the capital, and this way will I, as in I'll go this way. And on the way, disrobe the images, if you do find them decked with ceremonies. Images को online कर. Statues of Caesar. बोलता है जितने भी तेरे स्टैच्यूज मिलते हैं सीजर के, that people have decked मतलब celebrated, decorated with garlands and ceremonies. Ceremonies मतलब respect. Disrobe them. Disrobe मतलब strip them off, like destroy these celebrations. If you do find them को online कर. Them मतलब the images. Images मतलब the statues. मरूलिस, आर यू श्योर? मरूलिस थोड़ा हेजिटेंट है, लाइक यार ये तो अपन पंगे ले रहे हैं, सीजर इज लाइक द हीरो और तुम लोग उसी के पोस्टर्स को फाड़ोगे, उसी के आइडल्स को, उसी के स्टैचूज को, इफ यू डिसरिस्पेक्ट, are you sure we should do this? Also, it's the feast of Lupercal. It's such a important feast festival. अब Lupercal ना, मैंने अपने नोट्स में भी एक डिटेल्ड आंसर तुमको ऑलरेडी सीन 1 का दिया है, बट इसका इंपॉर्टेंट सीन 2 में आता है. That entire setting is the feast of Lupercal. Lupercal is the feast of fertility. You know, Lupercus god ko when they were celebrating, it is a huge festival. They have certain rituals, all of which will become clear in scene 2. Abhi ke liye all you need to know is that Marulus is a bit superstitious. He's like, won't it be inauspicious? अपशगुन नहीं होगा अगर अपन Lupercal के दिन सीजर के साथ पंगे ले रहे by doing this? Flavius बताए कुछ नहीं होता ये सब. It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. Let no statues show Caesar's decorations. Trophies मतलब decorations in respect of Caesar. So कोई भी trophy पे, कोई भी images पे कोई भी garlands नहीं होने चाहिए. I'll about मतलब I'm exiting. मैं जा रहा हूँ. And I'll drive away the vulgar कौन लाइन कर? Common people. He calls the common people vulgar. I'll drive away the common people from the streets. And so do you too. So do you too कौन लाइन कर? Even you should do the same thing. Do what? Drive away the people where you perceive them, where you see them. Perceive is see. Them matlab the common people. Thick matlab crowded. Wherever you see people crowded in groups, make sure that you disperse them. These growing feathers, metaphor है, metaphor. Underline कर, बहुत important है, question आएगा exam में. These growing feathers, he's referring to public support. But it's a metaphor. Metaphorically, Caesar has been compared to a falcon who has wings which are becoming stronger and bigger. So he'll start soaring. So the more public support he gets, the bigger his wings become. So we need to pluck these feathers right now. We need to pluck these growing feathers. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing, metaphor, will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Will make him fly at an ordinary height. Pitch ko underline kar. Height. Who over here is Caesar. Else is otherwise. Will soar above the view of men. अगर इसको ऐसे ही support मिलते रहा ना, soon Caesar will be flying high above us. So soaring is flying high above the view of men. And then he'll keep us all in servile fearfulness. Servile matlab like slaves. He'll treat us like slaves. He'll keep us all, we'll have to be scared of him, like Tarquin the tyrant. So make sure that we pluck these feathers right now before Caesar grows to his fullest and soars above us. Soars matlab flies high above us. Exwint, कल्टी, 2 लोगों ने मारा. कैसा लगा? मेरे को तो लग रहा है मैंने सही से एक्सप्लेन किया. आई थिंक आई हैव कवर्ड एवरी सिंगल वर्ड. अभी तुम लोगों से एक बार ना, मेरे को ऐसा लगता है, आई नो यू गाइस आर बोर्ड, आज मत कर, कल कर ले. एक बार ना ये सीन को फ्रेशली पढ़ ले तो तेरे को पूरा समझ में आ जाएगा. अब मैं शांति से सीन 2 भी रिकॉर्ड करके तुमको भेजेगा. लेट मी नो हाउ यू फाइंड दिस. एक बार हो गया, जिसका भी हो गया, लीव अ रिव्यू. लेट मी नो इफ दिस हेल्प्ड यू. एंड बहुत अच्छा लगा तो लव यू बोलो मेरे को. तुम लोग के लिए मेहनत कर रहा हूं मैं. ये मेहनत मेरे को सामने बस, आई नीड रिजल्ट्स. आई नीड यू गाइस टू वर्क हार्ड फ्रॉम योर एंड. लुक, आई नो इट्स नॉट द मोस्ट इंटरेस्टिंग प्ले, बट क्या कर सकते हैं? वी आर इन द सिस्टम, राइट? So as long as we are in the system, let's beat the system and let's beat the crap out of it. Let's make sure that we all emerge as heroes and heroines over here. मेरे को चाहिए मेरा सब सुपरस्टार्स ऐसा फुल मार्क्स लाना चाहिए. मेरे जितने बच्चे स्कूल्स में है ना, सबको सीजर में, जूलियस सीजर में फुल मार्क्स ही चाहिए मेरे को भाई. ठीक है? लव यू. 32 मिनट्स देने के लिए शुक्रिया. अब मैं बंद कर रहा है ये रिकॉर्डिंग. ओवर एंड आउट. आई लव यू बोलना मेरे को अगर अच्छा लगा तो. ओके, बाय.